Thokozani Makesha, and welcome to yet another installment of Leto, the journey with me, Kanongosi. And yes, in today's video, I think we'll just call it the Gobela chat. I don't know if it's a story time or what. But, I have really serious issues with writing down the things that I really want to talk about. Every time I know that I want to talk about something, certain things, it literally gets so distracting when I have to talk. I think I hope I'll remember everything from the top of my head. So yes, guys, first and foremost, thank you to everybody who's followed Leto. Thank you so much to people that actually support Leto, everybody who's a member, everybody who's shared, subscribed, left a comment, listen. I really appreciate you, right? To everybody who's coming back, my loyal subscribers, thank you so much. Listen, it's been a very long year, right? I was telling my mom the other day that it felt like this year had little other years inside. But anyways, so I get a lot of people that actually DM me, that send me messages, be it good messages, people trying to be hectic, people trying to be weird, people literally are finding this very helpful, informative, and trying to help guiding them in the right direction, whatever you'd want to put it, right? Whichever way you'd want to put it. So, guys, I do also have a podcast, Leto the Journey, that is available on all digital platforms, podcast platforms. So, starting Leto was something that I felt I needed to do for a very long time, and I think I had a video as an intro when I first started this whole thing. So I had to delete the video because of, certain things here and there. But yeah, so I got a message from somebody the other day who said they're experiencing issues in their lives, and they realized Guti, they're gifted, and they're being guided, you're spiritually gifted, but they felt like it's something that they don't want to take because they feel like it will literally derail them from their plans for their life and all of that. But here's one thing. If you have a calling, it will keep calling you, right? It will definitely keep calling you. It will not even ask you if you're ready. And it's unfortunate. We all have plans for our lives. We all have dreams and aspirations, but we plan and God decides. We plan and our ancestors because you're not born and then people decide, you know what, actually, let's just give her a gift. It's something that you're born with. A lot of people, bazoti, uzalwe and all of that. You came up really serious, you know what. So it's a thing, Yoguti. It's something that you don't really get to choose you want to do, because I feel, for one, I had dreams and aspirations. I still do, trust. And because I carry it so light, people feel like it's so easy. And when I literally the fact that khotwasa is not an easy thing, and it's something that even if you're gifted, it's something you need to come to terms with and make sure that you pray to God and your ancestors, you acknowledge them, you appease them, you tell them that, you know what, since you entrusted me with this gift and you're saying, Melenge Pehlweni, please give me the power and the might, because in as much as I'd literally get you ready for the journey, it's different for every one of us, right? Depending on which mpande you went to and all of that. So my journey, Oktwasa, and where I'm going with this is that you will plan your life and say you want to live your soft life. Listen, you want to go to school. This is what you want. I don't think people really choose to go through this journey, right? It's just like Boloi. People would believe that there's no witchcraft until it happens to you. And that's when you'd understand and acknowledge that, these things exist. But obviously, you would believe that they don't really have the power to get you down, or horofenya, whatever the case may be. So it's a thing, Yoguti. I went to initiation when I was 15, going for 16. Listen, my life was not easy at all. So I grew up in an environment whereby my mom has always been a gobela. Not always been a gobela. My mom went for initiation, I think more than 3 times, right? She was literally all over the place. And, you understand that my parents divorced when I was very young. So most of the time, my sister, who's 15 years older than I am, is like a deputy parent, you know, because like most of the time I spent with her when my mom was literally busy going up and down, because of Tokodiso ya moya. And people would believe Uguti, if your mom has gone, like you are free. Kanti, everybody is given their portion. Oh, hey. So trust me, and me being a Gobela right now, it's a decision that I didn't really want to make, but I was forced to make, right? So I'm hoping you're following. I think I'm so random. So my mom being all over the place, there was a time when I was still very young when I used to go to initiation with her. And trust me being the Gobela that I am right now is because of what I had seen my mom go through and what I also had experienced. It was never nice, right? So I think I'm also gonna record. I don't know if it's gonna be a video or if it's gonna be on my podcast. The difference of healing now and then when she was starting her journey and when she was a healer, so that we can get to understand how things have really changed and what's the difference. So it was not easy, you know. Some gobelas are hectic, and I don't understand the whole concept of traumatizing people through the journey and them being traumatized by their own ancestors to accepting their journey. And my mom losing her marriage within Uktwasa and having to go through everything that we went through. You don't go to initiation when things are fun. There's a series of events that literally push you to go epehlweni, right? So I understood and knew that, you know, you know, we come from a family or lineage of people that are really gifted and this and that. Yes. And I for myself thought, you know what, I don't have a problem with people that are going through initiation. I understand my mom is a healer. I don't have a problem with that. I didn't want that for myself personally, right? And then as time went on, I started having these weird dreams. You know, every time when my mom would come back, because she'd go on during holidays and then she'd come certain days when I was a bit older, when she had to go to other places, to a point where she even had to go to Swaziland, Uktwaza. You know, she's been literally all over the place. Because, you know, this thing of not because your ancestors are very picky. You get very picky ancestors that they'd send you to a place, and when you get there, they feel like things are not done the way they wanted them to be done, and then they can actually take you to another place, right? So it was not easy. I started having these dreams, and by the way, I could actually hlahloba before I went to initiation school. I went to initiation, ke kgona go bona, ke kgona go hlahloba, you know. I'd dream of things and things would happen like that. It would be like a deja vu, you know. I'd see things beforehand and I'd say them, you know, and it would be like, I was so good. And you know, I could literally meet somebody now and just not like the person, and I wouldn't really treat them bad, but there would be just something about this person that says, you know. I started being sick. Every time I have to go to school, I'd fall sick. But every time there's school holidays, I'm fine. Get to school, get where, all these things, you know. And I went to initiation at a time where things were not, it was not really a thing like it is now, where people really understand that, you know, there's an emergence of healers and what. So it was difficult. I started Ekaya where my mom started my process as she was instructed, and then I had to go to Mpumalanga at some point. I had to go. Next thing, when you thought you're done, Kile Soto, I had to go to Mauze for Istunya Sami, and then next thing I had to go to Mozambique. Listen, it was hectic. It was a very long journey. But what I want to say is that it took me forever to get to a place where I'm at right now, where I fully trust myself as a healer. It took approximately, like, listen, after I came back from initiation, I just felt like, you know what, I am done. Shoguti, I can literally go on with my life. Listen, going to initiation, you come back a different person. I had to give up a lot of friends. I still don't have a lot of friends right now. I think I have more people that I know than people that I really call friends, because you understand that when you're living in a certain way, some people don't get to understand. And a lot of people just feel like you have a choice. Why would you want to? Why we told, you know? And sometimes you'll always be thrown to a corner where people don't really understand why you live a certain way, why you take certain decisions, why you do certain things, and why you can't do certain things and be at certain places at given times, right? So some people didn't understand that. I lost family trust. Even my dad didn't even believe in me going to initiation. He was just like to my mom, listen, because you want this girl to go through this thing because you are now a healer. Now everybody needs to be a healer. And he didn't understand because he didn't live with me. He didn't see the struggles that I had to go through with this. Listen, it was so difficult. Listen, I understand hectic gobelas. You know, Tamkulu Aka was Babumkulu was hectic, guys. And I really don't want to take I really want to put somebody through what I went through because of being better or anything. I don't believe in initiating people through traumatic incident. Mishandling people, you're treating people all in the name of Hubatwasisa. It's just something that I just don't understand because I don't think somebody would nurture something. But another thing, some people just take Bongaka lightly of late because a lot of things just happen now. Like a lot of people are just so easy at initiation schools where they get to do anything and everything, eat, date, and do whatever. But it's very strict when it comes to me with rules because you know, and it's been very long since I've been a healer, and it took me 8 years to actually want to fully practice. And because I just felt like, you know what, I wanted to live my life. But even when I wanted to live my life, it was not aligning with what they had intended for me and the reasons why I had to go to initiation at that age that I went to. So finishing school, everything that I did was so difficult because my ancestors. And I think to some people, I was not even comfortable in coming out as a healer. And I really thank God that right now I'm at a space in my life where I don't need validation. I'm okay with being who I am and perceived in anyhow as somebody would want to perceive me because I know what I'm about, what I'm called to do, understand my purpose. And once you do right by your ancestors, trust me, they'll do right by you. And if you had said to me, Kaone, ka 2023, you'll be a full Kobela and you'll be initiating. Listen, I was going to laugh at you because there's just no way. So everything was so difficult, right? I finished school, I started working, and I usually always knew, like my times were short-lived in a working environment because when it's about to end, I could tell because my ancestors just felt like, you know what, you're not giving us attention, you're not doing, because like I'd usually say in most of my videos that Mauyo Twasa, there's always a reason behind why you had to go. So my reason was to go and come back, initiate, and also be a Gobela. So it was so difficult to a point that it was so sad that I literally had to come back from school abroad to come and be a Gobela, right? And I think I'd still even be abroad because I really didn't see myself living here in South Africa. But that's a story for another day. So I'm just telling you this to make you understand that it's not easy. It's not a chance, that you don't really make that decision to say, this is the life I want to live. You know, you can't want to be living a life that has to have rules, do certain things, and people want you to be perfect all the time as well, right? It's not easy at all. So fast forward, it's a thing, Yoguti, I had to come back. Okay, I lobola dimpande when I was abroad. I had an initiate that had to be taught by my mom, obviously. So my first initiate was very hectic, guys. That was when I was learning how to be a Gobela, right? And the experiences that this girl took me through was the worst. But I learned, you know, it strengthened me, put me to a position whereby nothing really happens by chance. Like everything has to happen for you to grow. You can never grow when you're comfortable, you know. And when you're broken in so many pieces, that's how you actually escalate and go to greater heights, you know. So bittersweet as the moments were, I'm really grateful for everything that had happened that has built me to who I am right now. It's still not easy. It's definitely still not easy because there's still challenges. You're a Gobela. Now, it took everything from me to actually be a Gobela because being a Gobela means you have to be here full time. You have to literally look after your initiates. You have to guide, you have to train. You're dealing with different personalities. You're dealing with different people from different backgrounds. It's always problems. They don't get along. There's fights, there's this, there's that. You need to put systems in place. You need to initiate people that are older than you. You need to also maintain the respect, you know? It's been very challenging. And when I decided to say, look, I'm going to literally just give time to my healing journey and grow with it and see where it takes me, I'd say I'm at a point whereby I'm so peaceful and I'm happy, and I've gotten to understand that you can't make everybody happy and you can't want to confront everything that you hear about you. You know, as a Kobela, things are said about you, man, you know, and some people are really bitter. You understand that some initiates are sent to you, some are there to just, you know, character development vibes. Some are there genuinely, and some people just come to you to just stretch you, man, you know. So it's not been easy, because also I'm still growing in my own journey. You can never say you're perfect at what you do, because it's always a learning journey. It's a learning curve each and every day. And you can only have experience moving again, because you grow as you go. And I'm still going through situations and challenges also, because the higher you go, the more challenging it becomes. Being in a space where I've fully trusted my ancestors more, I'm more inclined, I'm more connected, I'm more within my journey than I used to, because after initiation things started being very difficult for me, because I had not fully accepted where I was. I had not fully accepted that this is my life and I need to literally incorporate it in my plans and for my future. Relationships, sour. Family, relatives, cousins, listen, everything started going south. I started learning how to operate in my solitude, right? And solitude, whatever case may be, I started trusting myself more, spending more time alone, getting to learn about myself, working on myself as an individual, what I can fix about myself, letting go of certain habits, sacrificing certain things, and even having to put my dreams on hold a bit to trust this process and where this journey is taking me, right? It's still very challenging, because I'm still growing as a healer, as a Kobela as well, because I've had more than I had more than 5 initiates. And this year has been very hectic. You know, I've been hurt in the process. I'm still healing. And my back, you know, where there's no challenges, there's no growth. And I'm taking this video here so that people understand that it's not always Tokozani Maketla and you guys are seeing us and it's all ums and you're seeing me now, or getting to actually meet me through my journey, where I'm at a point where it makes sense. You know, I came back from Ipetlo and it didn't make sense. And I was just like, okay, all that for what? You know, okay, I'm a healer, but at what cost? You know, I hated going to the Ndumba to give consultations. I hated it with a passion. I hated Khoberekela. And still my ancestors would put me through the most. They would punish me, because how can you come back and not heal people that you were literally sent to training to heal, but when you're not about that life? And that meant giving up certain things. You know, I was always a sister. Listen, I was always looking good, always listen, vibes. I was never somebody who really liked Monati, because the moment I opened my eyes, that's when I realized, hey, it's Tunya, hey, Badimu, hey, Mandao, yo, and that is literally one idlozi that literally took me from, you know, when I had to go to Mozambique, it literally took everything away from my soul, because I was like, after all these years, guys, I'm still literally having to go through it all. I suffered. And you know, Umdao is one little that will make your life living hell. It does not even matter Uguti is Umgunu is well trained vibes. If Mundao was not done right and appease the correct and train the correct way, it will give you problems. And sometimes it's not even about that. Sometimes it's because of the origins of Umdao and how things need to be done. And if maybe mabala or hey, please, we suffered. We've suffered in this world. I think I'm at a place in my life where I feel like even if God is to take me right now, I'd feel like, you know what, I've played my part in this world. I've tried with your people. and it backfired, you know. I've learned to forgive fully and try and move on, because it's so difficult for you to actually say certain things, and then your actions don't really align with what you do and what you're supposed to be about, because people are very hectic. People will put you through situations and expect you not to react a certain way. It's not even always about who did you what, who did what, but it's always going to be about how you reacted. And people will literally take that and say, this is who you are, you know, because you reacted to a certain event that somebody did to you, somebody did. Initiates put us through hell, okay? And we are supposed to just be okay with that. And when you react, it's because, yeah, you're a very hectic gobela. Wara, 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 wara. Some initiates are very bitter. They will take something and run with it. Go out there and make sure that you will not get the light of day, you know. They will make people look at you very weird and different. You will help people that will go and talk about you and be mean and do the weirdest of things. But through it all, man, I think, imagine being called a witch at my age. Like, it does not even make sense, because you're so young, you're still full of life, you have plans for your life, and the only thing that you could do after suffering so much and for so long, you'd want to bewitch people. For what reason? Like, for what reason? Like, I really don't have time to make somebody's life a living hell, because I've had enough of that for my life. And right now, I am so busy with my goals and purposefully living my life and achieving certain things for myself and improving my life, that I really don't have time for negativity and bad vibes or doing things for people. Actually, especially when there's really no benefit for me to be growing or gaining anything from it. So if you're literally looking at this video and you're asking yourself questions as to, should I go to Petro? If you're called, you will always see signs, right? And it's not going to be easy. You need to take a decision and make a decision to say, this is one thing that I'm going to do, and I'm going to ask for strength at every given time and hour, no matter how difficult it gets. Because sometimes you'd be in a very good environment as to your initiation school, but you'd go through the most because of your fellow initiates. And that is beyond your control. We all grow in different ways, and our struggles are different when going through this journey. So listen, family, friends, relative, you lose everything. You have to sacrifice certain things. You need to give up certain things. And we are still going through it. You know, there's a time where you just wake up and you're just like, God, I really don't want to do this anymore. But if it's your purpose, my doll, and if that is what's written, that you will come here at a certain age, you will suffer until a certain age, you'll start achieving. And then people meet you whereby your life is booming and they just feel like, okay, I'm going to go Ephetweni, and when I come out, I need to live like that. It's not like that. It's not always the case. For some people, they really lucky that when Mabapume Ephetweni, things start booming for them. But for someone else, it's going to take years before they get to that point. So don't ever think, it's not always what you think. Trust. It's always the opposite of what you think. Gunzima, and bear it in mind that life is also difficult on its own. So you can imagine, if you have intuition, you're an empath, you're always feeling other people's pain, you're always healing, having to give up your time to healing people, some people that don't even deserve your time like that. I'm really grateful when things work out for people, and when I train people that turn out to be the best that they can be, and they grow with their journeys. I really am grateful when people are healing and achieving certain things. You know, that's when I know that God and my ancestors are literally in the neighborhood, and I didn't go there to suffer for vibes, you know. I can see where my journey is taking me. And only this started being when I fully accepted who I am, because in most times we want people to accept who we are, but we haven't accepted who we are. It's not fair. And you get to places where people look at you very weird. It took me forever to actually be comfortable in wearing my beads in public, because people will stare at you. We don't believe in the same things, and we don't see things the same. And it's perfectly fine. You can't want to shove now your gift on somebody's neck, through somebody's neck. So people should understand you. People should accept you. You know, people have the right to feel anyhow they feel about you or being in your space, being in your presence. I've had to let go of friends that felt like I'm responsible for their downfalls, and I was just like, but how is that even possible, guys? You know? So you'll go through so many trials and tribulations that you don't even deserve, and you're sitting there and asking God, but after everything, is it fair for me to go through this? Is it fair for me to experience certain things? You understand? And I'm not sitting here and thinking, yo, I'm perfect, guys. You know what? I make mistakes as well. And as long as I'm able to actually go back and rectify or be accountable for my actions, and people expect you to be perfect. You're not supposed to be seen in certain spaces. You're not supposed to be seen doing certain things. And they forget, even if you're young, okay, we pute, you know, because you're not just like anyone, but you're somebody who's carrying ancestors on your shoulders that are trying and asking not to be forgotten and want you to represent them well. And we totally seriti sa gago. So the moment I started living within and stopping, I stopped for a very long time. Guys, I really don't want to lie, because this journey is not easy at all. Regardless of you actually, everything went well. It's not easy. The challenges that you still go through, the punishment that your ancestors will literally still put you through, the growth that you have to, which is painful. It's never easy. But one thing I want to tell you is that, you know, like the moment you live within who you are, within your purpose, and do right by ancestors, they'll really do right by you. I'm living. And you're just like, wait, what? You know, when you're literally waking up and you're like, actually, I'm living within answered prayers. And it's so subtle that it happens without making a noise. Like, you just wake up one day and you're just like, you know, life is really hard, but I'm actually living within one of my answered prayers. You know, life is not really that bad. You know, you can wake up one day, you can go on holiday, you can do certain things, buy certain things, do certain things that people don't even think you would do them in your position. Like, you know? And sometimes you don't have to understand things when they're happening at that point, but there'll come a time where you'll understand why you had to go through all of that. And only now certain people understand that, oh, actually, you're actually gifted. People will give you credit when you even least expect it, but don't even look for it. Don't even look for people to praise you. They should just praise your ancestors and because it can easily be taken away from you, because it's something that was given to you as a gift. And if you can't take care of it, it will literally go away. That is why a lot of healers right now, but they don't see what they did because they've never really respected their journey and their ancestors, because we have different ancestors that don't allow the same things. So because I just felt like I'm not ready. It was not like, and also I was just a bit like, hey, what are people gonna say, bruh? You know how hectic people can be. People start treating you differently. People start looking at you differently. But it was not a thing of me disrespecting my ancestors and doing things that are literally way opposite of what they want me to be doing. You understand? So it's very important that you really do right by ancestors, and they will literally put you through it. Listen, your dreams, your aspirations, there will come a time where you'll be given a chance to actually pursue them, right? And if you feel like you're not going to go to initiation school because when you have this life set out in your head, it will take forever, even if you're not gifted. But if it's not if you're not given wealth, you will not be wealthy, no matter how hard you try, you know? But if God was saying, this person is just going to be living in abundance, or you'll be able to do things, and everything you touch will turn into gold, it'll just be that. But everybody has a purpose, but I don't believe that some people were just called just like that. But some people are just called to be able to live life and affording. Some people are called to be given literally over the threshold, like everything is just happening for them. And some things you realize them after you reach certain goals and the purposes that you were literally called to this earth for. So it's very important that you understand that you're not the same as other people. Even though you're a healer, you're not the same as the other healer. You understand? Don't compare. Comparison is the thief of joy. You will never be happy. Do what you are called to do. Do what you are guided to do, and listen to your guides. They will guide you. You will never lack. Hey, Utlatsamaga, that car that people only dream of and only certain people are said to be driving. You will live in a proper, like your ancestors will take care of you proper. You know, Katirwa Mujima, and me understanding that my gift is aligned with Mujima. I think if you've watched my interview with Motsweding FM, you'll get to actually understand a bit more about me. But to understand that my gift is aligned le Mudimuki, because I heal people and they get healed, you know? And not every time things will just go your way. Even if you're doing things right or by the book, you'll still go through challenges. Even if you're a healer, you'll also be met with challenges because you're not immune to life happening to you. You need to grow from everything. You're also living, you're human, you have your flesh, unalemadi running through your veins. When they cut you, you also bleed. So the only thing about you is that you have special features of seeing things differently, being able to hear certain things, communicate to ancestors, help and heal, right? So understand what your journey is about and be fully within it. Understand it, ask questions, grow. Understand idlozi lakho and what your idlozi is about. Don't be just doing things because you see people doing things. Don't be going with the flow because you're seeing healers doing certain things. Don't be just doing, like I'd say, I'd never give online consultations as far as me not understanding it and as far as my ancestors not actually acknowledging it so that I do it right, because a lot of people do things because it's been done. Next thing, you're not doing things right for people and people are suffering because of you. There are people that really need the help out there. There are certain people that really want to be guided out there. You understand? So also me starting this channel was not easy because that meant me allowing people in my space, me allowing people in my personal life and giving people a platform to comment, a platform to criticize, a platform to acknowledge my presence. And Baba Nanglin Nete would actually say, yeah, no, siyakuvuma. Others will just be weird. Some people, not everybody will like you. And some people, they just see you're not like you. And some people will just make it very difficult for you because they're pushing certain agendas. And they're doing the weirdest of things. You understand? So everything happens for a reason. And for me to be standing here today and believing in what I do, it took years to master. Not even saying I'm still mastering it, but ke sa phihella ho ba haufinyana, you know. I'm way better than I was a year ago, 2 years ago. I'm in a better space than before. And yeah, I just keep learning every day and I keep getting better at being a gobela, understanding your responsibilities, not operating from your feelings, and understanding that if they'll actually carry you through it, through the challenges, through the dark times, through the heavy times. So yeah, starting this whole thing was not easy because, you know, you think about it that people will criticize, people will drag you, people have opinions, and that is okay. You just need to tell yourself that you know what you're about, you know what you're doing, and also that's how I get paid for. If everybody says this and then wako, people will say things, people will be nasty, people would. There's a less, you know, and there will be a lot of people who are naysayers. There will be a lot of people that they see that you're doing something good and want to drag you. Some will want to copy, some will want to ruin it, you know. So just focus on yourself, what you're about. Listen to your guides. They'll keep guiding you. And Thokozani Maketla, pray without ceasing, man. Then ask to be really guided. Know what you're about. Go to the right place. Don't go because you feel like it's cool or you feel like, yo, I like that one. Or no, she's beautiful. I want to go there. Oh my gosh, she's cool. I want to go there. No. Go where you're sent so that things can go accordingly. If kimukuku, sure be it. If it's a very bad situation, live through it because your ancestors know. But there's nobody who wakes up in the morning and decide, yo, guys, my life was boring. Let me just go for vibes. No, it's difficult. I don't think anybody chooses to be a healer. It comes with a lot. we're empaths sometimes, or we're like, you're hated for helping, you're hated for fixing certain situations that were meant to be like that forever. People do very weird things, and when you undo what they do, it's a problem. People try you. When they fail, you are a witch. So I also had dreams and aspirations for my life. I still do. I still believe that I'm going to reach all my dreams before I literally leave this earth. But I don't think people just do things for vibes. People go to a pechleni for vibes. So be a little more kind and understanding, especially if you don't fully understand somebody's journey and what they're about. I don't think I'd be here, chilling here, being a gobela and wanting to be training. I would be living out there, living my best life, flying. Listen, I love traveling, being all over the place, exploring, living my best life. But you need to balance in this life. And it's great for somebody who doesn't have a calling and has a lot to say, but they're living their best life and living their life nicely. And because they don't realize and understand Badimu to that extent that it has affected their lives, it's easy for somebody to say that, nah, it's a scam, what, Kibolui and what of that. So, yeah, if you don't really fully understand something and experienced it and been through it, don't really say a lot about it and even be hectic to others or rude to others, because bungaka is not easy, and it's a very painful journey, but it's unfortunate. That's how we found things. I guess that's how we leave things and how we continue to grow. I'm really grateful for my guides, my ancestors, for Mudimu and everything. I'm grateful for the love that everybody has shown me. I'm grateful for everyone that has been helped by this channel and my podcast. And maybe watching the videos and then you feel like, certain things that I really couldn't come to terms with, you understanding certain things or having answers to questions that you didn't have answers to, and you didn't even know where to start. You didn't know who to talk to. Sometimes you come from families that don't believe in this, but you have it. And you are the one who's called, who has to change the whole status quo, heal generational curses, and you're not supported. We come from there. We've experienced hectic gobelas. We've come from there. We've grown through it. But I choose not to be a hectic gobela myself. We've suffered, we've gone through painful experiences that I wouldn't really wish on anybody else because I've gone through them. But leto is never easy, and it's not meant to be. There's nothing that you will not. If it was just something so easy to attain, because easy come, easy go. So stay prayed up, understand what your journey is about, where you have to go, the reasons you have to. And then you want to run. There's a series of events that need to happen for you to actually say, gahle, mailing your twasa. Go and consult, understand what your ancestors are about. If they've called you, they'll guide you. Phahla, learn how to phahla, do it properly, speak to your guides. Femba if you need to. Go and see somebody who can femba so that they can speak to your guides, and then you go to where you're supposed to go. Sometimes you're gifted, yes, but it's not necessarily always the case where you have to go for initiation. Sometimes some people are self-trained or self-taught or guided in their dreams, whatever the case may be. There's a whole lot of healers, a whole lot of ways of being initiated. Understand your journey, fully be within it. Don't be too quick to judge. Don't be too quick to want to do things because of somebody's doing it. Don't always be guided by people. Somebody is said to be the biggest healer from where. Listen to your ancestors, because you're the one carrying your ancestors. They are the ones who called you, and they need to communicate with you so that things are done right. Then tomorrow you don't be calling people names, and you do things right so that tomorrow you don't blame anybody for anything going wrong in your life. Take accountability for your actions. If things are going wrong, go back, corner, speak to your ancestors to say, you send me to this place. Now this is what's happening. What do I do? Go back to Kobela Yako. If you guys are not okay, sit down, speak it through. If things don't turn out the right way, you know what, I tried. Then that's when you take your own decisions or whatever way. Learn from everything you go through. It's sometimes you have to go through certain experiences for you to come back and be a better person. It's all about character development. Melukule in painful ways is different for every one of us. Some things we do them knowing and unknowing, but if we can go back and fix, do so. Yeah, masculine guys, you know, it's not easy. Let's work together and let's grow. We are different. We come from different places, different bandays. We were taught differently. But you know. And don't judge people and their style of being leaders, healers, trainers, whatever the case may be. As long as you know your story, stick to that and say less, you know. And yeah, we are not perfect, but as long as we're willing to fix. When you're a gobela, you have to take in a whole lot of nonsense, and I'm sorry to use that word. You need to forgive. You need to be the bigger person in most cases. Try and guide. Some things are not fair, but some decisions you just need to make for the sense of peace and move. You understand? And move. So I'm really grateful for all the experiences. We are still going through them. We are still seeing them. We are still growing. We are still learning. Thokozani Maketla, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the criticism, constructive ones. Thank you for the ones that are really unnecessary. Now you're part of the journey and the process. So yeah, Thokozani Maketla. I do have products, cleansing products that are available upon request. Yeah, but with certain people, I wouldn't do certain things without giving consultations first, because certain things I really need to understand how I'd need to help you. So I think that's doable, right? But with certain things, you'll need to pull through to where I am, where I work in Dumbeni. I don't do online consultations, like I've said. I don't have a problem with people that do that. I am not judging. For now, that's yeah. The only things that I do or go to where you are is when I have to go Ugufemba, but it comes, yeah, Ugufemba is one process that doesn't come easy and cheap. So yeah, Thokozani Maketla mabaphila abantu. Let us learn to be there for each other's healers, guys. The only time healers are working together is somebody to work against something or someone, and the next thing balosable. It's very rare to find healers coming together for a greater good. But anyways, guys. Because yeah, no, go hectic, go rough. Let us get into the habit of praying with everything and for everything. Even new initiates, pray about them. Ask your guides. Don't be taking everyone in because now you want to be this gobela. I don't want to be. Listen, I'm not doing this to be famous, to trend, to no. And me being here doesn't say you guys need to come to me all the time and say, hey, I'm not going to initiate. I think I've turned back a whole lot of people because some people feel it's all fun and games because we are here. They want to be on their thoughts. It's really not necessary. So everybody who comes through, if you have to be initiated by me, I'll have a consultation and I'll ask my guys and understand what you're about. I'm not just going to be doing things for vibes. It takes a lot from somebody to actually be here and train. So it's not for vibes. It's serious business. It's serious business. And we are guided throughout. We don't do things because we want to, or we're doing them because we feel like it. Go hectic. It's rough. I sometimes make decisions because I feel like, guys, I'm tired. I want to do certain things. And I know that I'm going to get my beatings because we do certain things. We want to experience certain things. We want to see certain things. And sometimes it doesn't align with who you are. But at the end of the day, you understand how to fix, how to mend things and be better. We're just striving to be better people. We are not perfect. We don't have to be, as long as we take accountability. So Thokozani Maketla, thank you so much for the love. Once again, I'll never stop thanking you guys. Yeah, hopefully these videos, this podcast, this channel reaches the people that it needs to reach and it helps those it needs to help. Thokozani Maketla, shall definitely see you in the next video.